Welcome to the Big Biz Show.
Taking care of business.
You want fast-talking, hard-hitting discussions on business and finance? Maybe with a barroom slant and some really salty peanuts? We're not counting calories. We're counting cash. Before we get to the man with the financial plan, meet the money team. Costa, Mary, and Greg. Now Captain Finance himself, Sully.
Wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening, big old Happy New Year to ya. Back in the saddle, as they say, from the Loft 100 Studios, sunny Southern California. Costa, Mary Bird Godwin, Greg Todorov, our executive producer, Sully.
And let us not forget the DTT, the Day Trader Trio's with us today.
Best in the business.
You guys have a good New Year? Yeah?
Absolutely.
That is, with me there, we have 40% of Sullivan.
Yes.
And we got some exciting news about tours this year.
I know. The poster, the lineup for the Beach Life Festival is out now.
When is that, May, March?
May 2nd is when Sullivan's performing the same.
With
Shut
Lenny
the front
Kravitz.
door.
Lenny
Really?
Kravitz
Ooh.
and Diggable Planets.
Diggable
for
Planets?
the old school.
No way.
Yes. It's a really great
311?
lineup.
I am in.
311?
311. You know, Nick Hexum was at the Christmas party. Did you meet him?
No.
He was at the house Christmas party.
I fell
Nick
into
Hexum,
the
the lead
vineyard
singer.
like an hour in. I was so hammered, I just fell over your bank and
Yep.
crushed a bunch of wine.
Just got back, but we're very excited. Had a discussion with Rome, who had played his last show with Sublime. He's out of his contract after 25 years and now going on tour. And guess who may be?
Hello.
So you guys want to pitch in for your own flights and stuff, but we may be going on tour. So as we are into our second program of the new year, we'll get to Howie in a second. But two things. Did you do New Year's goals, resolutions this year?
I did not.
You didn't? Do you
Isn't that
normally?
funny? Sometimes I do. Yeah.
What about you, Mary? Do you?
I did not. There's too much
By the
going
way,
on in my
congratulations
life.
on 9 years
Hey,
of sobriety.
Thank you very much.
Wow. Yeah.
January 1, 9 consecutive.
Because Mike's been sober for what, 70 days?
9 minutes.
Not in a row.
Non-consecutive.
No,
Total.
exactly.
Oh, mine is
Exactly.
Did you? So did you make?
I did.
What did you do? Well, none of our business.
No. I have written a children's book, and
Are you serious?
Swear to God.
Awesome.
And I, in the process of now trying to get it published.
What is it called?
Big Blue Lou.
Big Blue
It's
Lou.
about a big blue rhinoceros who doesn't fit in.
I had no idea that you had that sort of creativity in you.
It's
You just
been
thought you were Funyun eating bacon bits, dipping mayo.
99.9% of the time I am. But there's those moments of clarity where you're like, wait, I've got a story to tell.
So what's the premise?
It's about a big blue rhino he's born the wrong color, and he thinks that he's going to be alone the rest of his life, and then he goes about the jungles in Africa, and he finds other animals who are also born the wrong color.
So it's part of your New Year's goals is
To get it published, yes.
What's his name?
I think I
Big
can
Blue
help you with
Lou?
Big Blue Lou.
Love
I
it.
can help you with that.
Love it.
I know you
Yes.
I think Chris Castillo, one of our producers here, is probably looking at Blue Rhino as the car care company who's going to be suing Mike or trademark. They're big purple blue.
They're actually a propane company.
That's what it is. Blue Rhino's propane company.
That's funny.
This is how Mike names the thing after a gas company.
It's about a rhino that had gas.
I put down. This is both inspiring to me and sad to me, because I put down goals every year. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I tend to complete all of them every single year. And every year, here's the sad part. I mean, I get all my stuff. Literally, I make realistic goals. Okay. The problem is I have the same goal, the one I didn't get. This goes back to 2019.
Little carryover.
Yep.
Can you tell us what it is?
It's a tough one.
Yes, it is kite surfing.
Ooh.
Oh.
So, Greg and I enjoy surfing, and are going to take a couple of trips this year, not only to Zihuatanejo, to Cabo, and to potentially, if I could get him, he will never go to Dubai, but there's a surf ranch in Dubai. But we are going to Palm Springs, and we should all go together. But kite surfing, so I was a competitive sailor for a long time. I've sailed to Hawaii twice.
Same thing.
Wow.
I would like to learn, because I know that I would like to learn to use that.
Yeah.
It looks
Parachute.
super fun,
Doesn't
but
it?
it just looks complicated.
Complicated.
There's lots of wires.
There's a lot, exactly. That's my point. Yep.
This program brought to you by Blue Rhino Propane. Also, what's the big Blue Rhino you? Loft 100 Studios, The Big Biz Show, and our affiliates and our hosts are not registered investment advisors or broker-dealers.
Our show hosts make no commitment that the purchase of securities of companies profiled or otherwise mentioned in our programming
are suitable or advisable for any person, or that an investment in such securities will be profitable in general.
Given the nature of the company's profile and the lack of an active trading market for the securities, investing is highly speculative and carries a certain high degree of risk.
We profile selected publicly traded and privately held companies on our program.
Most of these companies that we profile have provided compensation to Loft 100 Studios and its hosts for the profile coverage.
From time to time, we sell shares of the companies profiled in the open market that we receive as compensation for coverage of client companies.
But never sell stocks if we are speaking about interviewing or covering a public company who has paid compensation.
Specific questions on compensation can be obtained by contacting producer at sullyandgroup.com.
Listeners should verify all claims and do their own due diligence before investing in any securities mentioned on this program.
Investing in securities is speculative and carries a high degree of risk.
We encourage our investors to invest carefully and read the investor information available at the websites on the
Securities and Exchange Commission at sec.gov and or the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, FINRA, at www.finra.org.
I like it.
Hey, is that a rescue plane?
Whether you're watching, whether you're listening, we welcome you to this edition of The Big Biz Show. We are live from the Loft 100 Studios here in sunny Southern California. And of course, up on that stage, the greatest band in the world, the Day Trader Trio. And as we like to say around these here parts,
Nope. Sorry, first of all, no one ever says a big ol' howdy to you.
he totally preempted you guys. I apologize.
Before we start on that nonsense, we have a very special audience here today, Mary.
We do.
Is this now? How did we find these handsome faces out here?
We have
except for the teachers.
a mutual friend with their teacher. We have a mutual friend, and they are a tech school, Trade Tech High, right? Am I allowed to say that on TV?
TTH.
Yes. And they're here to check it out. Check out how live production works. Check out our studio. And they're all very excited. Look at all these awesome faces.
Is this a good idea that they're here for the show? I mean,
I think so.
They do call
you
us,
just have to behave.
They
and then
do call us
fine.
business with a barroom slant. I'm not sure you're
Well,
being
we
nice
did take a photo behind the bar, and we had to make sure they didn't touch anything.
Perfect.
But we're good.
Mother of the year.
All the bottles are full of water.
Hey,
It's all
kids,
right.
come behind the bar and take a picture, said Mary. I'm pretty sure. Did you sign a waiver, or do they sign waivers? Because I'm pretty sure I'm going to lose everything I own.
There is a bottle missing. Just kidding.
By the way, James, did you somehow come up with some nonsense about you saw a car with big O howdy to you on it? Because nobody ever says that.
That is true. I took a picture of it and I've sent it to Mike.
Okay. Do you see it? You have the picture?
Wait, do you have
it? Send it to the control room. Send it to the control room because I want to see him pull it up. Great to have you along today. A couple things happening. You know, the ESPN is going solo. Mike Costa. Mike Costa is a very famous national TV.
I know they
radio sports personality, of course.
They're being jettisoned.
What does this
They're being
mean,
jettisoned.
going
Well,
solo?
YouTube TV was had a contract to carry ESPN, ABC, and other Disney-owned channels. Looks like it's not going to be. Let's talk to Howie Font from New York City, our lead analyst on this story. How are you, Howard? Good to see you this morning.
Hello. Good to be here.
Okay. Disney has been incurring huge losses in terms of revenue to the point of, I don't know, $5 million a day.
Oh, that's a lot of money.
So tell me,
How is this
talk about the arc of the story here. Well, $5 million a day is like you losing $5 a day for Disney. So keep in mind.
True.
Let's keep it in context. Disney makes, I think, annual revenue of $91 billion, something like that. But it's very up and down. It goes up with the consumer economy. You know, you don't go to the movies as much. You don't go to the parks as much when the economy's down. So it fluctuates, but $5 million a day is still a big hit to their daily revenue. And they want to be able to monetize ABC, all the Hulu properties, and especially ESPN, which they're, as Mike said, is trying to spin off.
So when the contract, the original contract ended with YouTube and ABC and Disney and stuff, did Disney come back and change the agreement or something like that and make it so it's impossible right?
Yeah, Disney wants to make something like $18 million a day instead of $5 million a day. No, I mean that's the crux of it. They're saying, listen, we have our own platforms now. They're not saying this. They can't, for legal reasons, be so blunt about it. But they just shut down Hulu. They want ESPN to have its own app, its own subscription. They would rather take all of the money than that than get paid via Google through YouTube TV. So this is them playing hardball a little bit, saying, we think that people buy YouTube TV for access to ESPN Live in large part, and it's going to really hurt your offering, and you're going to pay us more. And YouTube TV is saying, we are a search company. YouTube TV is a really small part, and I'm not raising costs on my customers.
I got a question. Does anybody look at? First of all, it's Disney and it's ABC.
Yeah.
Last time I checked, those guys are terrestrial broadcasters, meaning they're on television.
Yep.
Okay, not on internet, but they also have their own channels. Why do we care if we have YouTube or not? Can't they just? Well, wait a second. Why not just spend more money on marketing to promote their own channels?
Yeah.
To have them watch online, right? I mean, I realize the more distribution points, the better. I mean, look at us. We're everywhere on television, radio, and as well as on podcasting and everything else. But for Disney, or for ABC and Disney, it seems like they could just start their own and put some money behind it.
That's what this is all about, I think. They're trying to push their own distribution channel now. They have it through the app and through the ESPN standalone subscription. They would prefer to funnel users into that distribution channel, and they want to make YouTube TV, their competitors' costs go up. YouTube TV is like a live TV thing. It's not the videos on the internet.
So who's upset about this? Is YouTube upset about this, or is Disney upset about this, or the shareholders of Disney upset about this?
Well, who's ultimately going to be upset about this is the consumer, who's no matter what is going to be forced to pay a higher price.
Exactly.
Well, and did you say that
Yeah.
Hulu is no more? Can you go back to that? Because I need to watch Dancing with the Stars tonight, which is a Disney show on Hulu. So.
There we go. And I'm on season 1 of this thing called The Bear, and I've also seen Raiders of the Lost Ark for the first time.
Yeah, I need to know what's going on. Is this affecting me personally?
I think there was something, by the way, with Dancing with the Stars, the 2-season talk coming again, or they're sticking to 1 season. That's all caught up in this Hulu Disney Plus debacle. But you'd know more about that, Mary.
I do.
As far as Hulu and Dancing with the Stars, they're shutting down the freemium model. You used to be able to buy Hulu Plus and get rid of all the ads, and you could watch a lot of different shows on Hulu. Disney's shutting down Hulu as a standalone service. All of its stuff is moving to Disney Plus Hulu. And so everything is behind that Disney Plus fee.
Okay, does YouTube TV have a fee?
Yes.
Yeah. What's that fee-ish?
It's like the same as a cable. It's like $30-$40, something like that.
So Disney's going to come out with a $29.99, right? That's what they'll do. They'll come out with some sort of a $29.99 thing.
For just ESPN, right, Mike? I mean, I don't know what they're...
$29.99, but I think what ESPN is going to get to eventually, and we've all got to get used to the fact that if you want to watch a certain game, if you're a big SEC fan or whatever, you are now going to pay a premium price to watch that football game on ESPN.
And to your point, here's the problem. Let's just take that example for sports, okay? Yep. I belong to the NFL Network on an app, so that way if I don't see what I want to see on terrestrial TV, I can go on cable and watch if I want to watch a weird game.
Yep.
I also have Sunday Ticket.
Exactly.
Okay.
Red Zone.
But wait a second. Okay, keep on going. How many accounts do I have on each? I bet I have 10 of the same thing. When I hear stories like this, it makes me think doesn't there need to be a service that will go in and say, you have 35 different Netflix accounts and you're paying $600 a month when you could be paying $100.
Rocket Money does that, right?
Yeah, Rocket. No, Rocket does more like, hey, Mary, you're paying all these subscriptions. I don't think there's a grand consolidator.
I need somebody to come in and go,
exactly.
I need to reformat the internet.
Let's do it.
I want to erase the internet.
Kids should be able to do that.
There needs to be.
Come up with something for us.
This is the kids. Somebody invents something that's going to come in and say, okay, just by looking at your bank statements, you pay Netflix 45 different times this month, and I thought I only had 2 accounts.
Remember back in the day, we just had to turn the TV on with the knob and then sit down and watch it.
And then hit the big thing that made the antenna go.
Hey, Howie, before you're out of here, what does this do?
Was that in color, Mary? I can't remember. Sorry.
You were not born.
It was a Sony Trinitron.
Howie, I'm looking at. Do you have the symbol up? Look at DIS. Disney still DIS? Is that still a symbol?
Yes.
For Disney? Any big moves on Disney stock as a result of this, or was this already baked in?
No, this is small potatoes for now. It's a story of how this consolidation, and you're seeing it with things like the Paramount Plus merger and all that. Prices are going to rise on these things, and they're literally just cutting out the cable companies. We're going to pay probably similar amounts to what we used to pay. Shows are better, though.
Yeah, so it's interesting. It's interesting. Kind of a big nothing burger over the last 5 days. Went from $112 a share to $111 a share, but it may have been baked in here. I will tell you, when I get to the point where we thought it was just going to be Netflix sending you CDs in the mail, we thought that was complicated.
Oh my gosh!
Just take a look at. I just want you guys to all look at your bank statement this week, and just do a search for Netflix.
I don't want to. I don't want to.
For Spotify or Apple, and just to see how many
lifestyle tax. Yeah,
I got emails I haven't used since they had even email that has accounts.
Yeah, it's like the lottery. It's a tax on stupid people. Howie Font, Big B Show market analyst.
Thanks,
Always
buddy.
appreciate his input. All right, keep it right there. There is much more to come with this large investment program right after this. Big B Show continues live from the Loft 100 studios here in Southern California. That is the day trader trio up here on the stage. Back here at the bar, it's Costa, Mary Godwin, and it is Sully.
What's happening? Good to see you today. Let's do a little paperwork here on the show.
All right.
We are brought to you by Prudential. Let Prudential be your rock for retirement. Also brought to you by Bayer Advanced, better science, better results. Starbucks coffee, I'm hopped up on some right now. Of course, Bloomin' Brands and their fine family restaurants, including, Mike, stay with me, Outback Steakhouse, with the authentic Australian food, because all
best in the world.
There are bloomin' onions growing on the side of the road all over Australia,
all over Perth,
and Australasia.
Yes.
Don't forget Kendall Guitars, and a big hello to, it's an itty bitty, brand spanking new adios to you, is what this is.
Meowdy.
That's opposite.
Exactly.
We got special guests in the studio today.
We sure do.
So what is it? High Tech High? Is that what we call it?
No, it's Trade Tech.
Trade Tech High.
Trade Tech.
All right.
TTH.
Good. Well, great to have you kids here. Is this kind of like a ditch day for you? Because isn't this nice, isn't it?
A little bit, right?
We can make the show go long if you want.
I know.
Tell us. We would have had
all day long.
If you talk nice to Mike, he is involved in every one of your food groups too, which is basically Snickers bars, Funyuns, Red Bull, and Slim Jims.
Do they even know what Funyuns are? Are those still like a thing?
Oh, yeah, look at they're on their head.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Who do we have here at the desk here, Michael?
Scott Blanchard is the CEO of Blanchard, and of course we have Martha.
The Blanchard, like the Ken Blanchard thing?
Exactly, that guy.
That's impressive.
And then Martha Lawrence, who's the author of Catch People Doing Things Right, How Ken Blanchard Changed the Way the World Leads, and we are grateful to have them both.
Thank you guys for coming to the studio. It's kind of a treat. We normally get
excited to be here.
Yeah. So tell me the connection here, because you've got two authors. Okay.
So I'm the son of the 1 Minute Manager. Be clear.
Figured the Blanchard.
And Martha wrote the book, and she's been working with my dad
for 22 years as his executive editor.
The executive editor.
Yes.
What does the executive editor mean? You're the boss.
Well, basically,
it's like basically you tell him yes or no.
Ken Blanchard is the author of 70 books, and he needed someone to help him out with all that writing and all that publishing, and that was basically my role.
For the people that don't know, you guys started leadership development. It really is. Was that the germination of the original Ken Blanchard message? Was it leadership development or was it personal development? What was it?
Well, go ahead.
My dad started in the 60s with this idea that there was a different way, as characterized in the title, which is catching people doing things right, which means helping them do things right, and then catching them in the act versus punishing them. So it revolutionized everything. They thought he was crazy.
Did it start with a business concept or was it a personal concept?
It was his graduate work. It was really about studying a leadership model that worked better. And it really came from that idea that leadership is about having people's back and it's not about beating them over the head.
Do you think had he seen internet and the way we consume information today, his message would have been any different?
It's ironic. The things that he said 40 years ago, 50 years ago are now so much truer than they've ever been.
Interesting.
Because everybody wants, dignity in the workplace. They want a leader that has their back, that isn't there to beat them up. Right. People want to have, they want to get paid well. They want to be part of a team doing something important. And that was the stuff that was crazy, but now it's what the research shows is so key. So it's crazy.
So 1 Minute Manager.
Obviously. So let me just for someone who doesn't know who Ken Blanchard is, he's a guy who was told in college that he couldn't write, and he went on to co-author a book called The 1 Minute Manager, which sold tens of millions of copies around the world. It was on the bestseller list for many, many years.
What year did that come out?
1982.
Came out when I was in high school.
1982. And it fundamentally changed. Business books used to be these long, dry, boring things. And along comes a 1-minute manager, this skinny little book that's a parable about a guy who's looking for an effective manager. And it really fundamentally changed the way people managed others in the workplace.
This current environment that we're in is pretty tough on leaders, I would say.
It is.
Is there a good template here still to this day you think that works?
I'll tell you, it is, because the number one thing we just have to do before everything is I have your back. And then from there, we can get to work and things like that. But if you don't believe that I actually mean you no harm and that I want you to succeed and that I can trust you, then people are going to feel vulnerable and then they're never going to show up and give you their best. And so that's the fundamental message. And it's like you have to trust people first, and then from there, trust people before they can even be trustworthy. And it's the opposite of what we're seeing right now. Everybody's ripping each other apart from the two different sides or whatever, but really it's like, who is there every day, to help you win at work?
Scott Blanchard is the CEO of Blanchard Martha Lawrence Author, Catch People Doing Things Right, How Ken Blanchard Changed the Way the World Leads. Scott, you mentioned a couple of minutes ago about how your dad, way back when, had that idea like, okay, no, it's not beat you over the head. It's have your back, it's support, it's making people feel important, making people feel like they're part of an important process. You got these young kids here today, the Gen Zs and the millennials, and that's exactly what they are looking for in the workplace today.
Yeah, it is. It's what's important in life. We teach kids your age, you can come Thursday, to go from being a passenger in life to leading your life. And that's what it really comes down to. That's what it's all about, leading your life.
What was dinner time like at the Blanchard home?
Oh my God!
I want to know from.
I'll give you. So I was a kid that got into a lot of trouble. I was just a red-blooded kid.
Awesome.
And I would be sitting at the dinner table, and the conversation was, Scott, we want to discuss why your behavior is incongruent with the stated family values, which are on the wall that we developed in the family offsite meeting last year. And I literally had to explain how my behavior was incongruent with the values. And then before I stood up from the table, I knew that I had to, my dad would always say, so Scott, we've been talking about like this behavior, and you said you're never going to do it again, but I really want to know, like, where are you going?
Talk about putting the rubber to the road he's having to use his own advice on you, the troubled employee.
Right. Were you annoyed by it? I mean, being a teenager, I have two now, and they are annoyed with it.
You have one.
Oh, I thought my parents were real weirdos but my dad wasn't. The book didn't come out till I was in high school. I did later on, but ultimately, you don't
quite get it when you're, how many?
Listen, I understand what you're saying. This is the reason I'm here as the business guy. A lot of times, I found this. This is such a sad thing. Should I just play a sad story?
Do it.
I opened up a cigar box of old stuff. I was going through, you go through the stuff in the garage sometimes, and I found this little notebook in there, and it said, and it was just like when I was 9. It said, date, allowance, income, expenditures, and balance. My mom made me keep books as a kid. Look where it ended up. So
that's exactly right.
Talking about the book one more time. Catch people
doing things right. How Ken Blanchard changed the way the world leads.
Yeah, you can. That's available everywhere you buy books. BarnesandNoble.com, Amazon.com, everything else. What do you guys? Do you have any events coming up where people can come see and participate like the old days? Or?
Oh, we just had the old event. We just had the event down at the Coronado Library. But there's lots of podcasts you can watch.
And how do we find your podcasts?
Blanchard.com. We've got podcasts. We do almost everything we do is virtual now.
Okay.
We are, ladies and gentlemen, using software, helping people become great leaders using software. That's pretty much what we're doing almost all the time.
Martha, last of all, since we have to talk about business somewhat, look, we could talk to you guys for an hour about your dad and just about how messed up our childhoods were, but not messed up. What's the business takeaway on this book?
The business takeaway is, for a number of people. So if you are starting a business, running a business, this is a story that can inspire you because it goes through the ups and downs. Here's a guy who, by his own admission, couldn't even balance his own checkbook, right? And he co-founds a company that has been around for 45 years, tens of millions of dollars in revenue. And so it's an inspirational story. If you're an author, there's a lot of tips in there about being an author. There's a discussion guide in the back.
You guys got to come back here with us next time you're close to the studio.
Scott Blanchard, Martha Lawrence. Scott, is it true that the desk in your office is actually the old dinner table?
That's right.
Okay. Blanchard, is it Blanchard.com?
Blanchard.com, yeah.
And MarthaLawrence.com.
All right. All right, keep it right here. There's much more to come with the Big Biz Show. Back after this.
Right on. Loft 100 Studios, The Big Biz Show, our affiliates, and our hosts are not registered investment advisors or broker-dealers.
Our show hosts make no commitment that the purchase of securities of companies profiled or otherwise mentioned in our programming
are suitable or advisable for any persons, or that investment in such securities would be profitable in general.
Given the nature of our company's profile and the lack of an active trading market for their securities, and investing is highly speculative and carries a high degree of risk.
We profile selected publicly traded and privately held companies on our program.
Most of these companies that we profile have provided compensation to Loft 100 Studios and its host for the profile coverage.
3, 2, 1. From time to time, we sell shares of the companies profiled in the open market that we receive as compensation for coverage of client companies.
But never sell stock if we are speaking about, interviewing, or covering a public company who has paid compensation.
Specific questions on compensation can be obtained by contacting producer at sullyandgroup.com.
Listeners should verify all claims and do their own due diligence before investing in any securities mentioned on this program.
Investing in securities is speculative and carries a high degree of risk.
We encourage our investors to invest carefully. Duh.
And read the investor information available on the website.
On the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, at www.sec.gov.
Or the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, FINRA, at www.finra.org.
Great show in the Loft 100 Studios. That's the Day Trader Trio. And back here at the bar, it is Costa, it is Mary Bird Godwin, and it is Sully.
Okay, Tammy Long here, brought to you by Prudential. Let Prudential be your rock for retirement. Also brought to you by Bayer Advance. Better science, better results. Starbucks Coffee and Bloomin' Brands and Taylor Guitars. Great to have you guys along today. And a big hello to the Day Trader Trio. Good to see you guys.
Love the DTT.
We have one of our favorite guests on today, James McCormick, with Cloudastructure. Their ticker symbol is CSAI, but don't we have another surprise guest with him today?
We do. His chief financial officer is Greg Smitherman, of course, Cloudastructure Inc., ticker symbol CSAI. Both gentlemen join us here on the Big Biz Show, for the first time ever.
Stopping crime in front of us on national television, in front of 80 million viewers in 175 countries. Those are the guys that walk around and you hear this music. Every time they walk through a door.
That's right.
Every time they walk through. Guys, great to have you along, and it's so good to see you. I know you both off air, and we get a chance to work together in other venues. But I want, before we start here, I'm going to go to Greg this time. Greg is the CFO. He's the Chief Financial Officer. And Greg, I just have to ask, because we know what it's like working with James McCormick. What is it like for you to work with James McCormick?
I'm not sure if we got enough time, Sully. We have enough time.
I'm teasing.
It is great working with James. We have a very complementary background. All right, James has been CFO in the past. He's run the company. I've been CEO in the past at companies. I've been a CFO before. Both attended the University of Michigan. So both are from the Midwest. So there's a lot of commonalities, but also dramatically different experiences in how we got to where we are.
So part of this, I want to get to Cloudastructure in a minute, but for you guys, because I don't know that a lot of people watching this program across the world, across the country, really know the relationship on how a CEO, CFO works. Because think about this. The CEO and CFO serve at the pleasure of the board of directors, who serves at the pleasure of the shareholders. Okay, yeah. So if you own a stock in, if you own Apple, if you own enough Apple, you can fire somebody. Nobody has that much except for a few guys. But long story short is you're working for the shareholders. But as far as internal operations go, if you talk about chief operating officer, chief financial officer, chief marketing officer, and chief executive officer, specifically about you two, how do you guys interact together? And because I know, James, I talk to you all the time. It's a day-by-day thing for you, day-to-day thing for you. Same thing for you, Greg. Or what's the relationship in terms of how the working structure works for people that don't understand that?
It's very collaborative. James and I, again, we focus on different parts of the business. Obviously, I'm focused on finance, but also HR, strategy, and we are always talking to each other, working together. It is really a team effort. James clearly leading the team, but while we have active discussions, at the end of the day, you have to have your leadership pulling in the same direction.
Hey, James, are you when you're making decisions as a decision maker for the organization, you're taking you're taking data metrics here, and then you're leaning on certain trusted advisors. I'm assuming Greg's one of the first ones you talk to in terms of big decisions, in terms of either M&A or in terms of new client acquisition or in terms of expenditures, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Raising funds, ways that we might raise additional funds. Yeah, exactly. And as Greg mentioned, it in my experience, right, successful relationships that I've been involved with the CEO and the CFO, both have to be on the same page, both have to be collaborative, both have to have a thorough understanding of the business, and both have to be just passionate advocates for the prospects for the business, currently and on a go forward basis. So when we go to investor meetings, it's just evident that we're dialed in and thinking about things the right way, or the same way, I guess you would say.
James McCormick is the CEO, Cloudastructure Inc. His CFO, Greg Smitherman, with us. Of course, their ticker symbol is CSAI. James, give us an overview of CSAI and the link between, as we get more involved with AI and artificial intelligence, and the human element, the human intelligence.
Yep. Let me take the first part. I'll let Greg take the second part, right? Because we say collaborative. We'll show you how it works.
Love it.
But quick overview on our company, on Cloudastructure. So we have a artificial intelligence security platform that is cloud-based, and it provides video surveillance for our customers, and our customers are primarily enterprise customers. Multifamily housing, commercial properties, construction sites, transportation and logistics, those sorts of things. Our platform includes artificial intelligence and machine learning analytics, seamless remote guarding on the back end, and cloud storage. So basically, when we protect a property for a customer, it's 100% continuously monitored in real time. And when we identify potential threats, it gets handed off to our remote guarding team, who can do a number of things. Talk down to people using speakers, contact authorities, whatever the case might be. And that results in a 98% deterrence rate. So that's what we're doing from a system standpoint. Greg, do you want to talk a little bit about, that link between artificial intelligence?
Yeah, I was going to say, AI brings a whole new wrinkle here in terms of technology and your abilities, but profitability's got to come from it somewhere, and earnings and revenue have to relate to AI. I mean, it's a nice tool, cool whistle, nice and shiny thing. Can it actually bring profit on a gross level? Can it help? Innovation? Yeah, absolutely. But what about the money side of things?
Well, 100% AI makes things much more efficient. So as Jay mentioned, right, we've got guards, and our guards serve the very important role of taking our software and using that as the link from artificial intelligence to human intelligence. Some people refer to it as human in the loop, because if you're going to call the police, or if you're going to do something that has a pretty big impact, you can't do that based on AI alone. That being said, a lot of stuff doesn't need the human involved because it's normal activity and we don't need to bother. And this is where the profitability comes in. So if you have a live person watching video, they can pay attention to 6 screens well, 10 screens not so well. And beyond that, it really becomes completely ineffective.
I think
since everything of ours is AI driven, they're not watching screens, they're reacting to alerts that the AI says, hey, something interesting is going on. We've set up a series of conditions that when they are met, the AI says to the guard, look at this one screen. So it's completely got his attention. He's completely focused on that. And he can go, oh, that's normal. Or it's a guy walking through a garage with a crowbar, talk down, see if they, and 98% of the time, as James said earlier, they run away. And in that 2% of the time where they don't, we call the police, and they show up and arrest the guy. So by doing that, our guards, instead of watching 6 to 10 screens, are watching 50 to 70 screens. And that makes those guards much more efficient, much more effective, and from a gross margin perspective, much more profitable.
I find it really interesting to you use the word respond versus react. And I can't decide if you guys react faster or respond better in terms of both. Or both.
Why can't it be both?
Yeah, no, I think
why can't it be both?
I think it can.
Well, and one of the things too is that if something is happening, I can call Cloudastructure, and James, let me make sure I have this right. You're not going to tell me, give me 15 minutes to rewind the videotape so I can see exactly what time you're talking about. It's instantly at your fingertips, which means it's my fingertips.
Yep, that's 100% correct, Mike. And in addition, we index videos, much the same way as Google has indexed the web. So if our customer is looking for a particular event or a particular video, they can type in phrases. The example we like to use is someone, a resident hits the gate with their car, damages the gate, big expense. Property manager's trying to find out who it is. They see blue paint on the gate. They can type in cars, blue paint, front gate, and up come the videos. So we make those videos searchable and actionable.
And you can detect, license plates. Is it as clear as that, where you can see license plates and people's features?
So the short answer is yes, we do have license plate recognition. LPR it's a little tricky, honestly. It depends on many variables, right? What the lighting is like, where the plate is positioned on the vehicle, those sorts of things. But yes, absolutely. We were looking at a video this morning, talking with a few of our back-end service people, a brand new C8 Corvette going into a high-end property that we protect, and you could very, very, very clearly.
Mike, you drive a Corvette, don't you? Where were you?
Well, I used to. Hey, not anymore.
2 last questions. Greg, this one's for you. In terms of what your technology offers, what I remember is a company called Sonatrol back in the day in the alarm business. And I'm not suggesting this is a company that really comes even close to what you guys do. But are there existing companies out there in terms of profitability and growth that you guys would considering acquiring to fit into your realm there, or is your intel so proprietary that you couldn't overlay it over an existing company? I mean, is there an M&A strategy coming up potentially?
Well, there's always a potential M&A strategy, and we keep our eyes and ears open. One of the things that we look at, if you look at where the technology is today, right, and we've got the AI, we think we really have a lead in AI and our use of it. But there are always new sensors, new technologies. You've got drones, you've got robot dogs, and how could we integrate those things into our system? We are always on the lookout for new features, new functionality. This is some video of a mobile trailer that we sell.
Award-winning.
Yeah.
Wow.
Award-winning.
Award-winning. Thank you. Thank you. So there are, as we expand, we've got a great guarding center that can take in alarms. Right now it's from our AI, but if someone comes up with a neat new sensor, we could add that in there. A new technology, layer it on top. It's a great platform that has a huge amount of opportunity for expansion. And we certainly see expanding within our existing marketplace, but there are new markets, bigger functionality. And so we ultimately see a sort of a 360 view of our customer security that will integrate a whole bunch of different sensors and technologies and provide ways to protect them very cost effectively, and where you don't have to have live boots on the ground everywhere, because that's really inefficient and inexpensive.
Before we get out of here, I just wanted to ask you guys, well, first I keep thinking about Breaking Bad, which is my favorite show, and they couldn't have done that with your technology. But I want to know what you were kind of talking about expanding. So what is next in the next 6 to 12 months?
Sure. I'll start, and then, as I like to say, Greg can correct me. We continue to do a few things. One, we mentioned multifamily housing. We have 6 of the top 10 property managers in the United States as customers. They have 10,000, let's call it, properties that they manage. We're in a small subset of those right now. So as we like to call it, the land and expand strategy offers a lot of forward potential for us. In addition, we're looking at additional verticals that are either in contract negotiations right now or deployments. And those include things like construction, commercial properties,
transportation.
Thank you. Transportation and logistics. So we think for the next 6 to 12 months, we have a lot of runway from a revenue generation standpoint. And it's very exciting times for us as leaders and for the company. Greg, anything you want to add?
No, it really is. There are so many avenues, and we are expanding in multiple avenues. As we said, right, these additional sensors and technologies that we are looking at, how do we integrate that? There are a multitude of revenue streams, and it's almost an embarrassment of riches of how do we pare that down and say, of the 15 things that we've got, here are the 5 we're going to focus on first and expand out. And that's something that we are actively working on every day. More active right now as we are in budget season for 2026, and 2026 we think is looking pretty good.
Awesome.
Love it. James McCormick, CEO, Cloudastructure. Greg Smitherman, CFO, Cloudastructure.
Let's bring this show on the road. Let's get you guys here in the studio sooner than later.
Both of them, the pride.
Where's our invite?
Yo, I just did it in front of 80 million house homes.
The pride of the Michigan Wolverines, the both of them. Cloudastructure.com is the website. Gentlemen, thank you so much. And thank you, everybody out there, for being with us for this edition of the Big Biz Show. That is it for today. Don't worry, we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.
Welcome to Loft 100 Studios, San Diego's Emmy Award-winning production studio, creative hub, and unique private or corporate event space. Host your next corporate or special event in our spacious main room. Utilize a green screen or our 3 million LED lights video wall to create the newest upcoming sales video, or record that podcast or YouTube show that you've been wanting to make happen. Take your creative endeavor to the next level at Loft 100 Studios. Scan the QR code or go to loft100studios.com to book a tour.